Hello, this is Ken Guscott. Before you view this demonstration, make sure to see Part 1, the overview. This is a continuation addressing other features of the merit mark grid and submission dialogues. Open the merit mark grid and we see the records that we set up in Part 1. If you had sharp eyes, you may have noticed some spelling errors. DB2000 can do spell checking if you have Microsoft Word installed on your computer. It uses its spell check routines. If the spell check menu is grayed out, return to the main menu and enable it under the settings menu. And back to merit marks. If you are already using Word on your computer, you may get a message from Word telling you to switch its focus. In DB2000 it has two modes of operation. Just selecting spell check without opening a valuable service cell will check all records. This may take some time if you have a large number of recommendations. If you use abbreviations, make sure to add them to the dictionary as you go, and this will help. DB2000 raises a message if you select this mode, and this will enable you to opt out, which I will do. The other mode of operation is to open a valuable service cell for editing and then press spell check. This will just check this one cell, and here you see the Word spell checker, and it's flagging a spelling error, so I will change that. And another spelling error, I will change that, and the spell check is complete. Another thing to remember is that DB2000 has a very large context-sensitive help file. Clicking the F1 key from any location in the program will show help pertaining to the screen in use. So from the merit mark grid, it will go directly to merit mark help. So we see that it has in fact gone to the merit mark grid, and you can see from the screen here this help is extremely extensive, and it has several sections. This is an overview of the merit marks, and here we find a list of definitions. So if we want to know exactly what an original submission is, or a supplementary submission, or a retroactive submission, we can go and find this out. Also, we have hints and tips on writing recommendations. There is also a section on the submission process itself. There is a diagram showing this submission process and the three steps involved. The first, and obviously the longest step, is preparing the recommendations. And we can have draft copies of these recommendations submitted to other squadron personnel for review. The second part of the process is to select the submission type and submit it to the area monitor. And the third step is to receive feedback from the area monitor and to update the database. I have set the status of these records to each of the four submission types, and if we open the Submit dialog, we can now select the type that we need from the list and view the content. When we get to retroactive, we will be asked to select the officer for retroactive submission. Retroactive submissions are supposed to be made by the officer for the year when the merit mark was earned. We say OK, and we can open a list of past commanders. Now this list is obtained by checking the squadron rank of the officers, which is in the roster grid. If it should happen that the officer that you are seeking is not in this list, it probably means that his squadron rank is not set correctly, and that you should go to the roster grid and fix that. Anyway, we will just select the appropriate past commander from the list. Now it's asking for the retroactive submission year. Years are presented in accordance with the operations manual, and they go back 3 years. We just have to select one, and now we are ready to submit our retroactive submission. You can see that the website has provision to send a draft of the merit mark submission to another member of your squadron for review. And you can select the member you want to send it to from the drop-down list. It's defaulted at the commander. Well, this may be useful at times, but it has its downsides. The recipient can't use it for directly making changes, and it will only have the records for the type of submission being made, and you can't send it without the merit mark password. A better way is to save a merit mark file from the grid. The file menu contains 2 ways of saving a merit mark file. You can save a merit mark file for all the records, or you can save a merit mark file for just tagged records. Selecting saving them all with the file dialog is raised, and it opens in the DB2000 folder. And it's offering a file name which is actually just a date with MMAM as the designator for the squadron. Well, you have to retain the designator for the squadron, and it's going to say AM and then have your squadron code, which could be up to 3 characters, followed by an underscore. Everything after the underscore can be anything that you want it to be, and a good idea might be to indicate where the file came from. I'll just delete the date and put my initials. And then save the file, and it tells me that it's been saved. Now all you need to do is to email this file to the reviewer, and he can import it into DB2000 and work on the recommendations. This method needs no merit mark password. As a demonstration, I will clear the merit mark grid, and now I will import the file that we just saved. Go to the File menu, Import Merit Marks. We can accept the default values on the import dialog and say OK. This takes us to the DB2000 folder. Locate the file that we just made and open it. And we now see that the records have been returned. This is an example where perhaps the recommendations were compiled by a merit mark chairman, and he emails them to the commander for review and submission. So that covers some other aspects of the merit mark process. I will return to the main screen now, and I hope you found that useful.